You're watching this on Wednesday. Our positive daily inspiration of this day talks about guidance. And if you don't get it yet, I invite you to go to our homepage, positivechristianity.org, and sign up on the homepage. It's so easy. Also, if you would like today's, email me and I will send it to you. Well, so often when we need guidance, the way that we approach it is we go to this person and that person, then another person, another person to get their opinion. And their opinion may be good, but also it may be 100 different opinions from 100 different people, and you're more confused than you were in the beginning. Instead, sit in the silence of prayer and ask your question to God. Now, many people expect the voice of Charlton Heston to come through the air and answer their question. Usually, when I ask God for an answer, I usually don't receive it during my prayer and my meditation time. It's, I think, because I'm so locked into an opinion of the way that I think it should be. Therefore, I'm locked up. It's later, when I'm not even thinking about it, when I've let go, that I'm an open receiver for the answer to come. And in a millisecond of time, it pops into my mind. Now, here's another point. The answer usually is quite different, sometimes radically different than I thought of, or that I thought it should be. That's because it is the wisdom from above. Not way, way, way far out there above, just slightly above my human thinking. And now I have opened myself up and I'm receiving the answer. The answers from God are always exact and always perfect. Well, when that comes, often we will argue with that. We'll just say, no, it can't be this way because, and we'll give all the answers coming from our human mind on why it has to be a certain way, in a certain time period, in a certain place. And yet God always knows the right answer. Sometimes when we're praying for a job, we'll get an answer to what our perfect employment is that is radically different than what we're doing now. Sometimes it's in a different location. I can remember a wonderful man that was praying for a job. And he was in a cold weather state, and he kept seeing palm trees in his prayer, and he thought, what a strange thing. And of course, you know the answer. Later on, he was working in a state with palm trees, and in a different field, although it used everything that he had done up to that point. Sometimes when we're praying for guidance in health about where to go, where to seek the kind of treatment that we need, it is often quite different than what we think. We might have 2 or 3 answers in our human mind, and we're wondering, should I go to point A, point B, point C? And we get point J in God's guidance that comes to us in prayer. And it's that way when we're praying about relationships often too. I can remember this lady that kept going into prayer, and she wondered which gentleman is worthy of her putting herself into a relationship, and she got quite a different answer to quite a different man than. And of course, they've been happily married now, I guess, for 20-some years. Sometimes you have small questions. Now, that's where I say to start, because you'll be practicing on the small things. People often don't want to take anything small to God. And you can take everything to God. And sometimes you have large, life-changing questions. God will give you answers. Often God will give you the large vision, but that needn't scare you because God will always give you step-by-step, day-by-day guidance on how to get there. And the answers from God are always profound, and more than profound, they're genius. Higher than you could ever think, with a perfection, an outworking in prayer that is so incredibly wonderful that if you had spent a lifetime, you couldn't have worked out the details in the perfection and thought of everything the way that God already has. I pray today that you'll seek some time in prayer and ask God the questions in your heart. God bless you.